here with Jenn Mason, and Jenn has a super awesome idea to make really easy, lightweight earrings.
Yeah, and this all came about because I like to hang out at the hardware store too much, which is, I know, weird. But I like to go there and see what they have that I can use in different ways, unexpected ways. And I was looking at washers, and I thought washers would make really great earrings. And then I thought, washers are heavy and my ears might fall off my head. So I was trying to come up with a really good substitute for them, and I thought of shrink film. And
so you could make your own. So how do we get started with this?
All right, so if you can load up a piece of the shrink film on a cutting mat, I'm gonna use an electronic cutter to cut out these washers so I can make lots of them, so we can make lots of earrings. So I'm gonna start working on this while you're getting that ready for me. And the great thing is we're gonna use simple circles that are already in here. And I know what size I want. I want like a 3/4 inch circle, but you can make them all different sizes. So I'm going to size my first circle here down to 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to add a second circle so that I have the middle. So you can make these all different sizes, but as you can imagine, that these are going to get shrunk, and so I want to make sure that that little one is not too small, because when it shrinks, I still need to get.
I have to tell you, I always wondered how to judge how to do shrink plastic, and one of the things that a friend of mine told me is that you can actually like print a ruler onto the kind of shrink plastic that you can put through your printer, and then you just shrink the ruler, and then you always have a guide for how big or small to make your shrink plastic.
So was I the friend that told you that? Because that's genius, and I want credit for it.
You were not the friend who told me that, but and the next time I tell it, you could be.
All right, good. That's a deal. All right.
So you have a second circle that's about 1/4 of an inch. I see that, and you're zooming in about 400% so that you can really see it.
I can actually see it with human eyes.
It's true.
I'm putting my circle in the center there. And then what I want to do, because I'm going to use this another time, is I'm going to put them all together.
So you're going to select them all, and then you're going to group them so that now instead of being 2 separate circles, it's going to be 1 circle.
Right. And so there's one other part we're going to use for these earrings, and that is something I've already put in here. And it's this little piece. It kind of looks like a book plate.
That's what I thought. It totally looks like a book plate. And if you made it out of, I mean, you can make it out of non-shrinking plastic, and you could use it for all sorts of labeling and cool stuff, write on it with markers, do whatever else. You know, I think it'd be super cool. So
let's do a do-si-do here, and I'm going to let you cut this out while I talk a little bit about what the rest of the parts of the earrings are here. So it's really simple. It's our shrink film, a couple head pins, a couple ear loops, and some beads. And we all have extra beads. If we do any beading, we all have extra beads.
So I'm just loading up the shrink film in here, and the machine is going to go ahead and cut it out for me. I already have everything preset because we did a test cut to make sure we knew the settings.
Very smart. We're so smart.
For this machine. It's true. So once you actually have everything cut out, and actually I think this is actually about to be done. It's pretty darn fast. I mean, this is the thing, right? So I already have, here's your washer.
Thank you.
I can hand you that washer. And here is the other piece, the book plate, for when you're ready. And what are we going to do now?
So it's important, because we're going to turn on a machine that's going to blow. And so it's important to hold it down, or we're going to be chasing little plastic washers all over the place. So I'm going to use this, a nice long head pin, one of the extra ones from making the earrings. And this is going to shrink it. This is the magic fun part. It's going to shrink it all the way down.
And that's why it was important that that center hole be large enough that it will still fit a head pin through it.
Right.
After it's melted. And now you're going to melt that book plate part.
And you're going to put the glove on.
I'm going to put the glove on because shrink film is always very warm after you've used it. And what I think is clever is we're actually, this is just a marker cap or whatever you have laying around that's the right sort of diameter for you, and this is going to go ahead and create that curve.
Yep, and when I'm doing this, you see this moving around. The trick is to not be afraid until it gets all the way down. It always flattens out. Okay, so if you want to come over here, there we go.
I'm going to come over here, cooperative effort, and then I'm going to go ahead.
Roll it.
And the glove is really to protect my hand from this being hot. I've rolled it around here. I'm going to hold it in place for just a few seconds.
Just a few seconds. It's almost immediate.
And then it's already going to be ready. And look at that. It's a curve. It's hard. It's amazing. But how do we get to the next part where we're actually making amazing earrings?
All right, so super simple. These two pieces are going to interlock with each other, and we're going to.
So they're interlocking but overlapping, and that's what gives it that mobile feeling.
So if I pull this apart, you can kind of see there's two C's that interlock. But the tricky part is I got to take this little piece here.
Oh, because you're putting a bead in the middle, which is part of what makes these look so magical, because you keep saying, wait a second, it's like a ship in a bottle theory.
Yes.
How did that happen?
Exactly. So now we have our two C's. We have our little bead in the middle. We're gonna put 3 little washers on here.
Washers on there. I love the look of these.
Bead.
And you know what? So you used sanded shrink film, which has this really cool sort of graphic industrial look.
Right.
But if you didn't like that, you could use black. You could use clear.
You can
could
color.
have painted
you can
it.
print.
You could have colored it. You could have printed out on it. You could have make it shiny. I mean, you could actually make it look very metallic if you went to town with some silver markers and stuff.
Exactly.
Right?
You can even use enamels, which come in the form of nail polish, which are really great, quick way to do
very
it.
cool.
And so we would just make our little eye loop, and we would attach it to a little earring loop, and we end up with our little mobile
a really
washer
cool pair of earrings, and I like how actually you've left this extra length here. I think it adds a little je ne sais quoi
It gives you
to
the mobile
earrings.
feeling.
It does. It gives you that sort of dangly, cool feeling, and you could of course change it up by adding any other color that you like in. This is a great, easy project and lightweight.
Very lightweight.
Just like you said.
My ears will stay on my head.
Your ears will stay on. So what a cool way to take an industrial vibe and actually turn it over to something a little more modern, shall we say?